Sick.
Whoop.
Is there?
You want to secure your assets.
We can crack the wallet.
Oh, we've done it before.
We've got rigs, character adversary, attribution mode.
With our private keys combined.
Building some kind of blockchain super weapon.
There's just a number of vulnerabilities that are in the smart contracts.
Math. It's probably secure.
They all secretly mine cryptocurrency.
What coin can I trust? Which one is cryptographically secure?
Don't roll your own crypto.
CoinZilla podcast. Hey, everybody.
Crew. Skeleton
Welcome
Crew
to
podcast.
the CoinZilla podcast, Skeleton Crew, according to Corey. Yeah, I mean, it kind of is. It's just us three today, and we got Ryan. You gonna hang out with us today, Ryan?
Sure, I'll hang out.
Since
I'll leave
we're missing
the
Steve.
camera on.
Are you one of the skeletons?
Sure.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah. So normally,
I'll make dumb
we've got
comments
Steve
every once in a while.
Yeah, and Ralph here. They're teaching classes today. Nice gift there, Corey.
That's us. That's us together, Bo. I don't know who's in the
Oh
front.
boy. Yeah. That's great. Welcome to the CoinZilla podcast. This is episode 62. We are here to talk about the latest hacks, and we've got another great episode lined up for you guys. Join us in Discord. Ryan just threw that up on the screen there.
Yeah, that's what the
If you
GIF
don't
is
see
that
the
we were
GIF.
talking about.
If
Yeah,
you don't
see
see
the
the GIF, adjust your television to the following channel.
That's right. Tune
Yes.
your dial to
Tu-
EDUFBT.
Whoa, you didn't say which ones were capital.
Sorry.
That's a capital E. No. So, Steve and Ralph are teaching this week. So you've got myself, Bo Bullock. You've got Corey. You've also got Ryan. And we're gonna get through this, guys. It's gonna be just fine.
You sound like you're talking to yourself, Bo.
I don't need anybody else. We're just by ourselves.
Of course we'll get through this.
Awesome. Well, if you want to follow along with the show notes for today, I will go ahead and post those in the live chat channel and Discord as well. And you can follow along with all the fun stories we're going to talk about. Alrighty. Well,
Malicious ads. What is this? NSO group?
I guess let's dive right in. Let's get started, guys.
All right.
All right. So first up for today, CoinZilla Malicious Ads. I thought this one was kind of interesting. So there was a phishing attack that started targeting users of popular crypto sites like Etherscan and CoinGecko. So Etherscan is, by far the most popular block explorer, transaction explorer on Ethereum. CoinGecko is a site, for tracking coin values and whatnot. And basically what happened is users were visiting these sites and they started receiving prompts to connect their wallets, their MetaMask wallets, to a website called NFT Apes Win.
Seems legit.
So the situation, so what's crazy is this is something pretty interesting because these are legit sites, right? These aren't just like random, random websites, just drive-by stuff. And what was happening is these sites were serving up advertisements, and apparently this entire situation was caused by malicious ads that were being served up by CoinZilla, which is a crypto ad network. So the thing is, so what's interesting about this here, I'll actually let me hear your opinion on this, Corey. Like, what do you think about this whole?
So first of all, CoinZilla, I've never heard of it, but are they just like anything goes? Like, are they like, oh yeah, you want to inject JavaScript into our ads? Sure. Like, it'd be interesting to see like how the validation process is supposed to go on CoinZilla. Like, are they supposed to be checking these ads? It's not super surprising, but I think it is interesting that you have like multiple layers of trust, right? So you have like Etherscan and CoinGecko, they just trust CoinZilla to give them ads. They're like, we don't feel like manually soliciting all these ads, right? We don't want to be like selling individual spaces. So we're just going to farm that out to CoinZilla.
Mm-hmm.
CoinZilla is like, well, we have to sell ads, so we'll just sell as many as we can. And apparently, I mean, I guess it could have been JavaScript. I feel like an ad should really just be as simple as like a link, but it seems like they allowed more advanced ads that included like, I'm assuming JavaScript, right? Or some
So
other like more in-depth advertising, like click-throughs or something, which is where they were able to inject that prompt for the MetaMask connection.
So
So
that's definitely a possibility. But this story reminds me of something I actually teach in my class, in the my breaching the cloud class. So there's actually an attack that happened a few years ago, where users were visiting MSN.com, and this exact same thing happened where they're visiting MSN.com, and their browser started mining crypto, and it was due to a malicious ad. And basically, what had happened in that case was, AOL is the ad platform that MSN.com at the time was using, and AOL used S3 buckets to host their JavaScript that was loading the ads. They had a writable S3 bucket that an attacker found. So they basically found that where those ads were being stored, they could go in and just modify the JavaScript, and then it was being served up in MSN.com. And I'm wondering if this was something similar where, CoinZilla had some issue where maybe the JavaScript that was being loaded within these other websites was being modified in some extent.
So there is a Twitter thread which I will link by CoinZilla that basically kind of explains. It says, "We thank everyone for reporting the latest incident. We mitigated the problem shortly after it was reported. We have added additional verifications to ensure the security of users. What happened is a single campaign containing a piece of malicious code has managed to pass our automated security checks."
Mm.
So
So it did
I
get past
guess
their
so they had
quality
some kind of
control.
filtering or something for JavaScript, right? But they probably like obfuscated the JavaScript. Like I'm sure, there's lots of ways to
Mm-hmm.
obfuscate that kind of code. They also said it ran for less than an hour. They then locked the account that had submitted that ad. This is all according to CoinZilla. Obviously, the real world could be a little different. This is their own. This is the self-reported. The technical solutions we put in place, our team will now manually review and recreate all the creatives used by our clients, which is obviously a massive undertaking to be like,
Mm.
okay, let's check all this stuff. Ad codes will be cleaned from any third-party scripts. Furthermore, we'll be working with our publishers to offer support to affected users, identify the person that was behind the attack, and act accordingly. So, I guess honestly, a pretty good response from CoinZilla, assuming they actually follow through on all that stuff. I will say I'm a little dubious of them reviewing every ad manually. That sounds like a huge undertaking. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine being like? Although I guess it's like really how it should be is you should restrict what people are allowed to put in, right? I mean, they say like malicious third party code or whatever. Like, I don't know. That might be a little bit of an overstatement. Um,
Or at least create like a sandbox, kind of like a malware detonation sandbox,
right.
where you
Does
have
it do
like
a pop
virtual
up?
machines. Yeah,
Right.
does it do a pop up? Yeah, like a
Does it
simple check.
request? Yeah. Does it request access to MetaMask? Because there's no legitimate ad that would be like, yo, approve this transaction. Um, but yeah, I mean, it does say, that no users were actually affected, which I was also thinking about it from like the attacker's perspective. Like, I mean, I guess it's kind of like phishing where you want to self-select the dumbest people, like put a bunch of typos in your phishing message so that only the dumb people follow through, and then whoever you hook is going to be a good target. But like, who who is going to be like, an ad? I want an NFT. I'll just approve the transaction. Like it's so transparently bad. But I guess that's kind of the point, right? It's self-selecting the users that might actually believe, oh yeah, I want an NFT. Sick.
Yeah, but it's NFT apes win, man. You got to approve everything. That's
NFT apes dot win.
Got to
Win. What a domain.
hit that approve button, man.
Just hit it. Yeah. So I mean, definitely. I guess first of all, consider using an ad blocker. Just throwing it out there. Honestly, we've talked about this at
that's a big topic. We could go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's probably a whole show. But I will say I'm going to take this opportunity to say that in this case, using an ad blocker was a security function, not a
Mhm.
like, malicious function. I mean, it's not to get too deep into the weeds on the topic, but we either have sites that we pay for or we have ads. There's no real in between, right? So, you either have to pay for things like CoinGecko Premium or whatever, or they have to run ads because they have to generate revenue to pay for their servers and all that stuff.
I'm
So,
totally gonna shill a product real quick. So when it comes to ads, like I actually block all ads on my home network with this device called the Firewalla. Does a lot more than that, but that's one thing that I found
it
really,
seems similar to
really
like a
cool.
pie hole or
It is,
something.
yeah, it's super similar to that. Yep,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I will say these don't block everything, right? I
That's
mean,
true.
like nothing. This is, this JavaScript ad is an example. Maybe it's blocking NFTapes.win, but it probably isn't blocking the ads that come from YouTube, right? Or maybe it is, but the ad world it's like a cat and mouse thing. It's like the whole Netflix streaming optimized proxies, like region bypassing and all that stuff. It's like total cat and mouse. Once they start, losing money on these kinds of devices, they're going to be like, well, how do we get around it? Well, we have to serve the content from a trusted domain, right? So it's a cat and mouse thing, but I mean, definitely at the very least, use some kind of blocking for the most basic, like, configure.biz domain that you can find. And also maybe consider just if an unsolicited transaction ever pops up,
Just deny.
just deny. And honestly, don't use, maybe don't use your MetaMask enabled browser to just check out random sites like CoinGecko or Etherscan. But
Nice. All right, well, let's move on to the next story. So next up, we got Blizz Finance and Venus Protocol, $21.8 million. So this one's kind of interesting because it's actually a little bit of fallout from the UST DPEG that we talked about last week. So two lending platforms, Venus Protocol and BSC on BSC and Blizz Finance on Avalanche, have been drained of 13.5 and 8.3 million respectively. And the gist of this whole thing came about because they had a hard-coded value at the lower end of the spectrum for Luna. So they basically hard-coded 10 cents as the lowest it could go. But in
oh my
fact,
god,
the price went lower than that.
oh my god, man.
So,
I mean, whatever 16-year-old Discord developer they found did not do a great job with that code.
So
But
I
they
guess
were using,
I should read.
it was the
I-
Chainlink Oracle, right?
Yeah, that's
so
what
it
I was gonna
wasn't
say. I
even
should-
their code. Yeah.
Exactly. I should be a little bit more clear there that this was the Chainlink Oracle, which is actually like a really highly trusted Oracle feed, right?
Not anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, things happen,
I mean, well, so it depends, right? It depends on who. It's an interesting like space because it's like, okay, well, who's responsible? Is the Oracle responsible? I would say, I mean, it depends, I guess, on the like. It depends on the agreement that these two entities have: the Venus Protocol lending protocol and the Chainlink Oracle. Like, if you sign up for this Oracle or pay them, is there some kind of agreement that says, like, if we badly report the price of something, is it on us to reimburse any loans that are taken out? I mean, the attack is really simple, right? The attack is I can borrow against a value of a Luna that's higher than the actual value, and then I can sell that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's funny. I mean, it sucks, I guess, for whoever has to pay those loans back. 13.5 and 8.3 million dollars respectively.
It makes me wonder, like, why even hard code a value? Like, is that supposed to be like some kind of like security protection? Like they're trying to, I don't know, like try to cover some risk or something there, maybe.
That's a good question. I can't really think of why you would do it. It seems like it'd be easier to just like, I guess it's a sanity check potentially, right? So it's maybe just a way of being like, oh, the price Oracle is probably bugged out if it reports less than 10 cents, right? Like that's probably the assumption they made. Like if it
Right, 'cause it's
says the
supposed to be a
value,
stablecoin.
right? It's supposed to be a stable coin. it has a good track record. Like if the value goes below 10 cents, like let's just assume it's our mess up. It's our like we screwed up. We're not, the API is down, or the price is being reported improperly, or but turns out that actually is a bad safeguard. So in my opinion, this is on the Oracle. It's their fault. Like their whole job is to report the prices of things, and they failed to do that accurately. So they need to pay up for this, in my opinion. But luckily, it says Venus, they yanked the trading or suspended the trading before this was exploited to drain the entire pool, which is about $1 billion, it says. So I guess 13.5 million versus $1 billion isn't so bad. At least they noticed it. Like that's a good example of, we talk about like the anomaly detection. They probably saw like, that's weird, 13 mil just drained out. We should probably go check that out. And they did, and they were able to halt trading with, and then they ended up just disabling Luna, or UST and Luna are no longer allowed to borrow against. So, I mean, it's a good example of how not to code your price Oracle.
I was actually curious what Luna's trading at right now. Let's see.
Fractions
right now
of a cent.
Oh my god, it's at 0.0001 cent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's bad. So, and really, you can't even really buy it. You can swap it and you can buy wrapped, but like really, it's probably dead. Most of the news articles I've read have talked about like it's probably dead.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, we talked about this last week, so we don't have to talk about the whole algorithmic thing again. But like, I think just the reliance on, well, first off, stablecoins in general, I think people are going to probably take another look at. Like this is going to bring more regulation.
Well, they're under a lot of scrutiny for sure. Like, isn't Tether under scrutiny right now as well? Yeah.
But yeah, I think even more so on the algorithmic side, right? Like the algorithmic stablecoins, right?
Yeah, I mean it's funny because like if you really read the debriefs, a lot of people basically are saying like this is what it's supposed to do. Like it's supposed to, in a price panic, it's supposed to like build itself up, but it can't. Like it's such a, it's like this is the value of Luna. It's zero. Because that the algorithm functioned properly. Like it was one of the things that I may have overstated. Like the algorithms didn't fail. That was just that was just what Luna should be worth. It's a tough thing. I mean, it's a tough situation for sure. But I do think we need more scrutiny if we're going to call it stable. If we're going to say this is where you should put your money, if you're accepting these currencies as payment, you should be using these to like as your bank account. We need that if that's going to be how people use them, it needs to be more vetted,
more better.
Yeah, more better, more trustworthy. And I stand by the scrutiny that these stablecoins are getting. Like Tether needs to prove that they actually have 2 billion and whatever in Bitcoin, or like they need to make sure that's real, especially considering like with the Luna thing, like it's kind of a weird situation where it's like it's a stable coin that's accompanied by like a coin that's designed to generate value at the same time. So it's like a weird little mix where you have Luna is supposed to go up, but then Terra is supposed to stay the same. So it's kind of a weird way of making it stable, of having like a profit generating coin tied to a stable coin. But
right. Well, I'm sure this isn't the last we've heard of UST.
Hopefully it's the last we hear of someone that had hard coded in a value in their price Oracle.
So with there's actually other ones too that I didn't include in this specific section because they didn't have like a crazy multi-million-dollar hack, but there was like a good 4 or 5 that this happened to.
That we're also using Chainlink or other oracles.
So I think it came down to how they programmed in. They're in
Right.
within their own contracts too.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense, right? I get it from like a programming perspective. If you're going to say like, oh, the value is 0.0.0, like that's got to be an API error, right? Like
Right.
I probably just didn't get a response.
Yep.
But you that's always a possibility, right? I mean, imagine the same thing with all the trading bots and all the if currency trading, like for example, Russian rubles, if they get pushed to the point of devaluing, like are there going to be things that break where like you can't get a loan in rubles because like the value is hard capped at X amount or whatever? Like it could happen in real currency too. Like you're talking about code that applies to the price of something when the price of something is, you should never be hard coding that. It should always be like, what is a ruble worth? Well, whatever a ruble's worth, right? Not 10 cents.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next up is Order DAO, not to be confused with New Order DAO, which I think is actually a different one. Private key compromise. So $3.3 million, 70 million. I think you probably pronounce this netters in 3DR in 3DRs. We'll go with netters.
Netters, neaters. We don't know.
Were sold by hackers. The exact operation has been detailed by the security company BlockSec, and the attacker somehow accessed the private keys for the owner's address and was able to make calls to the operator contract, which has a method n3dr.emergencily or emergencily transfer. That's a function name. And apparently, this function allowed the operator user of the contract to just dump everything. What's interesting about this?
Sorry, I was just reading the debrief. It says issue type insider job /rug pull.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's, I mean, and every time this happens where it's a private key thing, we always speculate. We don't know for sure.
We don't know for sure, but let's put on our titanium foil hats. And how was the hack announced? On mirror.xyz. Does anyone know who is? Let me just read the statement. I'll just read it verbatim. But Order DAO guarantees in the name of God, we are the team with ambitious vision for personal wealth is never our main goal. We still wish to establish a new order of Web3 with all people who have ideals. I don't see, I mean, and then it just goes on. I mean, it's seriously Google Translate like at least 3 times. The current FOMO jackpot we in order to ensure increase the cost of cheaters to participate. We use Chainlink random number to select the closest random number of winners from multiple candidates list. That this is all just this is literally verbatim. So I mean,
So one thing I really
can't believe
out
it's
on this,
anything but a rug.
Well, all right. So here's something that I really wanted to call out on this specific one. So the function that was exploited was not in the scope of an audit that they had conducted. So they actually hired an external smart contract auditor called Quill Audits. And this particular function was added after they got an audit. So
Gotta be. Come on. I mean, that's like me. That's so. It's so ruggy. Like I can't.
I will agree.
I mean, obviously we don't know. It could not be, but like it's so ruggy to like get an analysis, get an audit, get a security test, then introduce malicious code. Then, they don't. Are there any human names tied to this company at all? Like, are there any like first name, last name backers of this? Like, it's a DAO already, which I mean, DAOs are just like basically intentionally rug pulls. Like, they're supposed to be just gathering funds. I don't know. Like their website. Okay, here's their team. This is there's Sir Lancelot.
I like how you know how we were talking about logging in?
Sure.
I go to their site and I get a pop-up from MetaMask to log in.
Yeah. Yeah, this isn't. Oh, it says it's in Buffalo, New York, so it seems legit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, even just
legit.
their Twitter, how did this gather any money? There's there's literally just a post that they tweeted on May 13th. Trying our best. Our designer is nearly sue us. And it's just like a gif of like And they also tweeted, "You are safe with us. Don't worry." At Quill Audits, at PancakeSwap, at Pecshield Alert, at BlockSec Team.
Yeah.
It's I'm sorry, but if you looked at this and decided you wanted to invest, your decision making skills are not great. Like it
Not financial advice.
like it's so bad. It's so like transparently
Sir Galahad, responsible for organizing and planning the next election of DAO. Sir Geharis,
there's
responsible for
also
DAO's legal counsel.
Okay, this is a tweet. Okay, I can't.
Oh, Sir Percival is responsible for the year-end audit. So
I can't. There's a tweet that this is on May 6th. We gonna add Chinese and Korean options in our website for multiple language users. Keep supporting. We are listening. Then it just says N3DR 2,274%, and it's just a GIF.
So the last tweet.
We gonna change the world. Like, it's so bad. It's like
We will be back. You are safe with us. Don't worry. On May 11.
Oh, thanks. Now I feel better.
They have a wait. Okay, so wait. They have a compensation plan. Is that what this? Hold on.
Yeah.
Compensation
well, no.
Let's see what the compensation plan says.
It's V2, dude. They're literally rugging again. They're literally just deploying a V2. Oh, God.
Interesting.
It's so transparently bad. Like, please do not invest in this. Not financial advice, but please, if you're gonna do this, do it with someone that actually has like a name, a human name. It's I mean, it's also just so transparently bad that like they're just like, oh, the last one got rugged or hacked or whatever. Let's do it again. V2, here we go. Like 10% to the investors, 7% NFT farming. Here we go. Like they're just rolling it back up again.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe it's seriously like, invest in Enron. We're super legit. Like it's like, no, what?
No, it doesn't work like that.
Also, guess what? Here's the other sad thing. Let's say take out any cynicism from my side. Let's say that this was really a hack. This was really they did not steal the money. They didn't rug it. It's all legitimate. What do they do? What did they change? They're literally just like, we're announcing V2. Like nothing's different. They're just like, well, the last one got rugged again. Like,
I mean, all right. So maybe they're trying to say like, hey, maybe we were phished, and somebody got access to our private keys, like that is a legit possibility.
But even
right?
then, they haven't said that, and they also haven't said that
True.
anything has changed since then. Like they're not even saying like, oh, we've deployed like. They aren't even trying to like blow smoke and be like, well, now we have corporate security standards, and we have like we're gonna do like we have our developers are gonna have hardened machines. Like they're literally not even. They're just like, nope, do it again, run it back, V2 baby. Like it's so. It's so transparently. They haven't announced any debriefs or any like how it happened or who got the money. So this is one of the most transparent insider jobs I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, again, speculation, but yeah, I would say it looks that way, doesn't it?
It's so bad. Their website is bad. Their blogs posts are bad. Like they're not even worded. They don't even know English.
Let's continue.
I'm so triggered. I'm sorry. $3.3 million. Like, I've said it on the show before. $3.3 million, no downside. It blows my mind. Enough people invested $3.3 million. It's crazy.
So the next one, I don't actually have like an article. I don't think I saw an article for this one, but I did see a tweet from Pecshield, where they were commenting on a post from Artist Life Network, where they were announcing a breach of their staking contract. So Artists mentioned that Artist staking pool, an attacker was able to withdraw liquidity in Artist rewards and sold to QuickSwap pool. So they said that they plan on fully restoring all funds. This isn't Terra. We will fix this. Please be patient in the meantime.
It's pretty funny they have to say, like, this isn't Terra.
Yeah,
This more looks like an actual real legitimate breach to me. Right?
This looks like an actual vulnerability, yeah.
The
So
fact that it was
Pecshield,
reported by Pecshield, not self-reported, like, hey guys, we got hacked. And the fact that it was a collar validation issue in the tokens received function, like, that's also the fact that they say they're going to restore the funds is a good sign. So I mean, this is an example of, like, this kind of stuff does happen. There are vulnerabilities. We talk about it every week. This one seems more legitimate.
Yeah, I would agree.
But I mean, how much was they don't have a number? Like, how much was stolen?
That is a good question. I actually don't know. Let's see. So in that tweet from Pecshield, they actually included a link to a transaction on Polygon.
Yeah.
It looks like let's see, like, what, 19 million artists and 1,200 wrapped Matic. How much is artist worth? Let's see. I mean, market cap. All right, artists is currently not tracked. So that's not helpful. Okay, so I'm not even sure how much an artist is worth. How much Artist Life Network token?
Artist Turba? Is that
I don't think that's the right one.
is the ticker ARTIS?
I think it's supposed to be. Let's see. According to, yeah, I don't know. Like, there's not much info on this. Maybe this is not anything we need to worry about. Maybe it's not actually like in production kind of thing.
Artist staking pool was affected. This isn't Terra.
Yeah, I don't know.
Artist Life Network.
It looks like an NFT marketplace, from what I can tell. So maybe it's kind of a new thing.
I mean, they aren't doing a great job. We have replicated the hack and take full responsibility. New contracts will be tested and deployed. I mean, that's more of like a legitimate response. New technical outline. The staking pool was compromised by an exploit that takes advantage of the ER77 feature, the tokens received function. Directly calling tokens received was the concept. It can be called directly.
Okay, so I found where you can swap it on QuickSwap. So according to QuickSwap, one artist is worth 0.00003 Matic. So, like, extremely low.
So it's nothing crazy.
Yeah. So, like,
if 18
minimal.
million of those plus some wrapped Matics, not so bad. I mean, it's not a crazy amount. And they do say they're going to restore all funds. So,
yeah.
I don't entirely understand what it's a staking pool where you stake NFT trading or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's according to, so that's like $540. So not a sorry. Huge hack, guys. Sorry. All right.
So,
Maybe. Moving on. let's just keep moving on. There was an issue. I'm sure they'll get it figured out. All right.
it's basically, oh yeah, that's well. So okay, but the Matic is worth more. The Matic was like
Sure.
The Matic was like $1,200.
All right,
Yeah.
I've got a couple other stories that I think are really really good that we should definitely talk about. So let's get into these because these are I think some of the more interesting ones
Me6
that have
not
happened. Yeah,
Me6.
Me6. All right, so this week there was actually something really kind of fascinating in the Discord world that happened. So a lot of popular Discords, actually just Discords in general, use a Discord bot called Mee6, so with two e's in the middle, so MEE6. And basically, what's happened is all these high-profile Discords, like Proof, Discord, Artifacts,
Okay, Bears.
OK Bears, yeah, a lot of these high-profile NFT Discords started posting scam links, right? And it was all at the same time as a coordinated attack where all these Discords at the exact same time started posting these mint links, right? They were all customized to those specific projects, and everyone was flipping out because it's like, I mean, we see scams all the time. We see Discords get hacked. We see webhooks. Like Corey and I were talking about like how we could do a whole episode. And actually, I think I want to follow up on that, Corey, and maybe do we should do a 1 hour webcast
About Discord OPSEC? Yeah, we should.
Yeah, we should do a full Discord security webcast. So we should make that happen. But there's always these issues, right, that we talk about all the time. This one was interesting because it wasn't just a single like Discord admin got hacked or a webhook got hacked. This was the actual bot service itself. And what it ended up being is the Mee6 admin, so like somebody who actually worked on the project Mee6, was phished, and it enabled the attacker to have access to basically like what we think is a dashboard of access basically to all these other Discords. So there's so many things to unpack there, right? Like, all right, so first off, the Mee6 bot team potentially has access to give themselves administrative access in any Discord that uses that bot. Like,
well, they can. Yeah, that's the permissions you give to the bot, right? Because it can assign roles and ban people and all that stuff.
Right, but I mean, in traditional world, like just because I have a piece of software doesn't mean the team that made the software should have access, right?
There's also the whole question of like ownership, and like who runs this company, right? Like, what is Me6? Like if you go to their website, which is mee6.xyz, which is where it advertises the box. Like I also see there's this Me6 NFT, like which I don't even know if that's affiliated with the actual Me6 bot, but if you go to mee6.xyz, it says it's copyrighted by Side Scroll Ventures SAS, which doesn't appear to have a Twitter, doesn't appear to have like their email is just hi@mee6bot.com.
Is
they
this
have
the site?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah. Like, yeah, that's like the site for Me6, which like they have like a support site. They have like ticketing and stuff, but there's no like ownership of like who is affiliated with this project. They don't have a Twitter. They don't have any like public members. They do.
I think they do have a Twitter.
So I don't think that Me6 NFT Twitter is affiliated with them. Is it?
No, not the NFT one. I saw they had another. They had another one, Mee6 Bot. I think it's just Mee6 Bot. Let me see. Yeah, Mee6 Bot is the
So they like it's weird because like this Discord bot is collecting revenue. They have employees, right? They have features. Like they are a company, but at the same time, like Side Scroll Ventures SAS is not like necessarily Apparently it's headquartered in Paris. Like, I guess
mean,
from
so
like an enterprise security perspective, it's to me looks very loose. Like, who owns this company? Who, like, phishing them or hacking them is like targeting a specific person that happens to have like administrative access, right? It's not necessarily like, emailing Mee6 Bot .com and hoping someone clicks. It's like they probably targeted a specific developer, right?
yeah, well, I'm starting to think how to do this as a comparison, because like in the traditional corporate IT world, right? Like let's say that I had like a vulnerability scanner or some piece of software that I use on my network, right?
Right.
There's no reason that like Tenable, like the company that makes like Nessus, should have access to even control that scanner in my network, right?
Right. But that's not how Discord bots work, right? Because Discord bots are central code, like a central instance of it's basically a Discord user, right? And then it joins a bunch of servers.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess you could definitely
So you're saying what we need is a decentralized Web3 Discord bot.
so it's funny because like that Me6 NFT appears to be that. Like, it's funny that you even say that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know the technical. I've never built a Discord bot, but I do think it's something that people should consider more what they're doing if they're adding a bot to their server, right? The security implications of that. I think it's pretty standard to add a bot to your server because of, you can have it automatically moderate and assign roles and things like that. But you have to consider that bot is someone else's code running in your environment. Like Bo said, it's like if a scanner has a access, not just access in your environment, but access from another company, access from like this developer is running an instance of this bot that has administrator in your Discord. So there is some, I mean, obviously, as we've seen, possibilities of hacking those developers and backdooring their code, or just compromising that instance of the bot that happens to be running on the OK Bears NFT at Discord.
It also
Is
makes
a
you wonder. It also makes me wonder. All right, so if all of these projects are trusting Discord with really like financial information, right? Like it's such a weird thing, because Discord has become the platform of communication for
Mhm.
crypto projects. It was built for games. It's built for video games. It's built for
It was built for just communications, right?
well,
Like just
yeah, but
hang
like
out and
Twitch
talk.
streamers and yeah,
Yeah.
well, like all the communities, like the first portion of Discord was built around gaming.
Right.
And crypto communities, NFTs, blockchain companies, they all use Discord. And it makes me wonder, okay, so all right, so yeah, we saw a bot hack, right? But what if Discord gets hacked? Like what if somebody just actually compromised Discord itself? That would be really bad scenario, like literally lock out everyone and just post, malicious stuff and every Discord.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's kind of turned into the de facto standard for communities because there aren't as many there's no really platforms that can compete when it comes to like building a community and having dynamic roles and memberships and events and people gather. Like, it really is an online community system that doesn't have a lot of competitors. Like, there's
You know
not a
what's
lot of
gonna
companies that do it.
I predict that within the next year to 2 years, there's going to be a Web3 competitor that's like you own your server, right? Just like you own, your private keys, right? Something like that, where you own it and there's no external interaction other than the software. Which I guess, like that's can be a venture
I
in and
mean,
of
but
itself.
even then, what do you have a bot running on the blockchain then? Like, I mean, it's like, where is that bot code running? Because at the end of the day, people want a drag and drop kind of solution for bots, right? They want like, oh,
Yeah.
I'll just add this bot to my server. I don't really want to code it up myself or modify. Like, I just want you to help me run my server.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess the last thing before we shut up about this is who's going to repay if anyone is anyone. And by the way, they stole a bunch of NFTs. It looks like,
Mhm.
is that what they did?
So many of them. So many.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's how I know this person who wrote this tweet is younger than I am, because they said so many NFTs.
Oh yeah, no, they stole a ton. Yeah, they ended up compromising a number of NFTs from various users.
Which this is from refishing. Like, they're sending malicious messages to these users, right?
Well, no. So what they did is they got the Mee6 bot to post messages as administrators who were trusted within each Discord.
Right.
So like that's one
But
of the things
they're
about
asking the
Mee6 is,
user
like,
to approve a to do something, right? To
right, but they
go
basically just
mint
created
an
like a
NFT.
mint link, right? Like, hey,
Right.
come mint. The same thing we see, all the time. Like, hey, we have a free mint happening now, or we have a brand new mint. Come do it. Urgent. It's urgent. You got to do it quick. And so people were like, oh, I got to go mint that, and then they sign a transaction sending whatever NFTs that they
Right.
specified.
So it was like double social engineering. It was social engineering to get
Mhm.
access to the Mee6
Yeah, that's a good
backend,
point.
and then it was social engineering from Mee6 to the targets in the Discords.
Yeah, and
So it was
this
like
is
double
like
social engineering.
this reminds me of exactly what happened with Twitter, maybe a year or two ago, where Twitter admin, a Twitter admin was phished, and the attacker got access to like this dashboard back end of Twitter and was able to post spammy messages and scams from like Elon
Send me
Musk,
Bitcoin, right?
Obama, like
I'm
like
Bill
all
Gates.
these,
Send me Bitcoin.
yeah, Bill Gates, yeah, like all these high profile accounts
Using like a back end admin tool, basically. Very similar. Yeah.
Yeah, so actually, I did get hit up with a question. So one of the questions that was asked about the specific story was, when Coinbase had a bug which resulted in people getting their accounts hacked and crypto stolen, Coinbase reimbursed those people because it was Coinbase's security failure and has a reputation to uphold. In the case of Mee6 getting compromised and people losing lots of NFTs, who's responsible? And should they reimburse those who lost stuff?
I would say, first of all, the chances of any money coming out of Mee6 are very low, in my opinion. And here's why. Mee6 is not, well, despite what their website might make you think, Mee6 is not a large company. Coinbase is a huge company. Coinbase has
Mhm.
thousands of employees, VC funding, huge amounts of revenue, and has a reputation to uphold, right? They have, if people stop trading on Coinbase, that means their whole business is gone. Mee6, I would bet money there's less than 5 employees at this company. It's literally just a Discord bot that they're trying to monetize because it's gotten a lot of traction. But at the end of the day, I don't think anyone really cares that much about the reputation of their Discord bot, right? Like, it's basically just something free you add to your server and it does like grunt work for you. It's not like Coinbase where it's like, I trust Coinbase with my $10,000 in Bitcoin or whatever. I don't think they'll give them, I don't think they have any way. I honestly doubt the company even has the assets to give this kind of stuff back. But even if they did, I don't think they really have so much of a duty to do it. It's social engineering, right? At the end of the day, like, your employees can be phished. Like, Twitter, didn't send Bitcoins back to the people that sent Bitcoin. Like, you can't attribute and then pay back a social engineering attack, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to find a tweet. Keep going, because I'm trying to find something real quick. There was something even more interesting about this that I wanted to bring up.
And I don't think Mee6 has any rep to uphold. Honestly, I doubt very many people even know that Mee6 is on their server and that it's doing things. Like, you can change the name of the bot on the server. You can change the way that it appears. So I don't think a lot of people are like, oh no, Mee6, like, I'm going to switch to Probot. I mean, maybe. But I don't think Discord bots are a huge like money source. I don't think it's like these aren't like Fortune 500 companies that are Discord bot companies. Like these are like totally, random,
They're like, yeah, random people just
small.
coding stuff, right?
Yeah, it's just people. I mean, I don't know the backstory of Mee6. I don't know anyone that's affiliated with it, but I would guess it's just someone that wrote a bot for their own server and then was like, it's actually pretty easy to use. I might as well just like make it public to use and then maybe try to grab some money for like premium subscriptions. But I mean, dude, you can never like stop people from social engineering people at your company. Like that's so hard.
Yeah. So I pasted a couple tweets in there. That Ryan, if you want to pull those up. So the first one. So yeah, or here, let's do that one first. So a company claiming that they will never be compromised is a massive red flag. So within their own Discord, they basically said, somebody asked a question. They said,
yeah, this is like some almighty wolf. Which are they
yeah,
affiliated? I assume?
hi everyone. My Discord server is using Mee6, but there are reports that it's been hacked. So is it likely true or not? And then he said, false. Mee6 was, is, and never will be compromised. Like they're very adamant that they'll never be hacked. And then in any case where you hear somebody say that, that's a massive, massive red flag.
Yeah, I mean, also, who is that? Right? Who is Almighty Wolf? Like,
Somebody who works at Mee6 apparently.
Is it someone that works at Mee6? Because their name isn't like Mee6 John support.
That's
it's
true.
like, I mean, again, this is like not to like rag on these developers because they do put in a ton of work, but like this is probably just some random person that decided to write this for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is not a corporate level development enterprise where it's like code audits, change control, QC, QA, pen test. Like, no, it's just like some dude or woman that just wrote this stuff for fun and was like, well, might as well share it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is this person? I mean,
yeah.
Are they even affiliated with Mee6? Like
Who knows?
It's very and they did announce the hack. Mee6 did on their Twitter, which is Mee6 Bot, not Mee6 NFT, but Mee6 Bot. Some servers have reported Mee6 being used to post unwanted messages. There's no technical breach in our systems. This was due to one of our employees' accounts getting compromised. The issue is now fixed, and we've taken the steps to make sure it doesn't happen again. We take security very seriously. This is like the corporate response you'd expect, not someone in Discord saying we've never been hacked.
Right.
So I mean, I think it's one of those things. You just have to make a judgment call as a user, as a Discord administrator. If you do run a Discord, do you use this bot now? I mean, your call. I guess something is very wrong with their supply chain or whatever you want to say, that if I can compromise one of the developers and that means I can send messages on thousands of servers, right? That is a red flag, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that isn't implemented in if that isn't implemented, right? Like they need to implement security controls. Like it's like assumed compromise, right? We talk about this all the time. You can't just have like people in the company that are allowed to just take over the whole company from a security perspective. You need to have like assume a certain amount of risk from your employees, right? And now people are tweeting like, oh, the Mee6 bot somehow has a way to send messages as anyone, and also remotely, like an employee of Mee6 can get control over your Discord server. That's like a massive security issue from Mee6's perspective. Like they shouldn't. I understand it's probably for support reasons, right? If they're like, hey, your bot's banning everyone, like if they can't see the messages, they can't troubleshoot it or whatever. But you have to balance that with the value of security, which is high now, especially given this. I mean, do we use Mee6?
I actually don't know. I don't think it's in our CoinSec one, but maybe in.
I don't Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing. I mean, honestly, like we should talk about this on our Discord OPSEC
Mm-hmm.
webcast that we just made up. But like,
Oh, it's happening.
consider the bots that you have in your server, and consider the fact that when you can view, if you look at the server admin panel, you can view the permissions of the bot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And typically they require pretty hardcore permissions, like
It's true.
pretty high permissions, which all it's doing is, I mean, I guess enforcing. The biggest thing is a lot of people use these bots to enforce the rules and to ban people and things like that, which it needs permissions to do that. But maybe don't let it send messages, right? I mean,
Yeah.
but people, that's what people use it for, right? They use it to
Mhm.
announce like, "Yo, I just dropped a new tweet. Check it out." Like
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
that's how it's used. So, I mean, I don't know. I
I
definitely
know
think
I've seen it before, but I can't remember how. I've
Yeah.
got a chat from
yeah. So that's what I was
Mee6, and I use it just throw in gifs in there so I can bookmark them for later because
so
you know,
actually
Discord has
okay.
like save GIF feature or favorite GIF feature, but if you go on a different computer, none of that shows up there. So that's
So
what I use it for.
it's on the BHIS Discord.
Mm.
So maybe
I guess we're too low on the totem pole to have an actual or user try to compromise.
I mean, maybe, or maybe it happened and we didn't see it. If it was sent in DMs, or if it was, I mean, we should probably hit up
Does
Jason.
it have any permissions to do anything besides sending messages?
I don't know. I'm not an admin in the Black Hills Discord, so I can't see.
I don't think we actively use
Well,
it.
we can look at that later, guys. look at
But-
it on the
but
podcast. That's funny.
Yeah, the point the point is these bots that you've added have permissions in your Discord, and you need to, that like has to be in your trust model of Discord. Like you have to think like these bots are potentially administrators and their code is your code. Like, so definitely
Staying on the Discord topic, I've got another really interesting one. So this next tweet, I found this fascinating. So again, back to like this whole concept of Discord being built for like gaming and stuff. They never really built it with like security in mind, so to speak. And one of the things that is to me crazy. So in Discord, you can create private channels, right? So you can create these channels that certain users can't see unless you give them access to it. Well, apparently, via the API, via Discord API, you can actually leak the name, description, and member list, and you can actually get some activity data. So a little bit of metadata from.
which is so bad. That's
It is
so bad.
It is so bad. So I saw this tweet thread from Josh Frazier, and I started reading through it, and I was like, oh well, let me see if I can go figure that out. And it took me probably 10 minutes, looking through the API docs to figure out how to do this. And it works. So any Discord that you're in, you can actually use the API to send certain requests, and it works. Like you can list out all the private channels. Now, in most cases, I would say that that's not like critical information, right? Like in a lot of Discords, it probably doesn't mean a whole lot. Where it does mean a whole lot is when you start seeing like things that are not yet announced, like so partnerships or upcoming product launches. Different. So like if you have an exchange Discord and there's certain listings that they're going to incorporate, like you can glean a little bit of a like what I would call like almost like an alpha signal, like of potential plays based off of just seeing private Discord channels. So
That is so crazy. I mean, I think in the crypto space, the biggest use of this would be if there's a private channel that you get as an owner of an NFT, that is your phishing list, right? Like you can pull the list of people who own this NFT and are in this private channel, and then you can just hit them with attacks directly in Discord.
Yeah.
Which is so sketchy. Like you shouldn't be able to know who in Discord has, members of this channel. Like you shouldn't be able to see that.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely a big one too. You can't read the messages. That's at least that's a good thing, right? So you can't actually like read the messages that are in these private Discords, but you can see the names. So And the other thing too is like the topic that's in the private Discord you can also read as well, which is kind of, you know,
That's
like,
a huge deal because a lot of people probably set like join our secret, you know,
here's
secret
our
voice
weekly
chat.
Zoom meeting call
Or
link,
yeah,
you
there's a
know,
yeah,
like
here's yeah, that's another one. Here's our, you know,
for the
Zoom
mods or
password.
something.
Zoom password is, you know, bored ape 123 or whatever. Like that. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where again, Discord has kind of grown beyond its probably original design,
Hmm.
you know, philosophy, and has become this platform where a lot of like I mean the ramifications for streamers are huge, where it's like, you know, if the topic has the password to their like, you know, restream or whatever they're using to actually actively stream, or like the OBS password or something, I'm sure we're going to see some fallout from this once I don't know how heavily publicized it is yet, but
Some of
um
the examples Josh put in his tweet thread are like the internal Discord for Binance. The internal channel is called Binance Staff, and the
right,
description states that it's hidden from all roles except for Binance staffs. And then in the OpenSea Discord, it had a private channel that was called Solana Launch Partners. Like that's such an
right,
indication, right? Like, you know,
yeah,
prior to Solana being on OpenSea, you know, if you saw that, that'd be like, I would say, an indicator to go buy some Solana NFTs. You know, like, um,
right, yeah. And not only that, but if there is, I mean, he obviously probably is, you know, not going to post real truly sensitive info if it was in there, but I'm sure if you dug through enough of these channels on crypto related discords that you would find, you know, a transaction address or
well, so
maybe
that he
a
mentioned that.
webhook address.
He mentioned that, and so like exactly what we were saying about the phishing side of things, right? So he said that multiple teams have private groups for their multi-sig signers with a
Right,
publicly visible list of specific individuals who are members of that channel. So, you know, we've talked about these, you know, massive hacks like the Ronin bridge, right, where it was they had to compromise 5 validator nodes out of 9,
right,
in order to send $600 million out of the network.
yep.
Now imagine similar situation where you know that the multi-sig signers are part of this one channel, and you now have a very specific target list, you know, to try to target.
Right. Part of your threat model is how is someone going to find the addresses of all these multi-sigs or the people
Hmm.
who even own them, right? Like
Exactly.
similar to what you're talking about with the Ronin nodes, part of the problem they did is they had all their eggs. I think 4 of the nodes were in one
Hmm.
at the company. So
Yep.
like as an attacker targeting these, you know where 4 of them are. You only have to find another one. So same with the multi-sig people. If you know the Discord handles of these 5 or 10 people, that is a huge part of the threat model that just got wiped off because normally you wouldn't know, oh, this person's key signature equals this email or this Discord. Like that is a big intelligence win from an attacker's perspective.
Hmm. It all
So
we should definitely state too that they did. Josh reported this to HackerOne, and it got closed out as a duplicate issue. They say so. This is from Discord's team. We are currently aware that this information is shown both in API responses and in some parts of our app for channels you do not have permission to view. For technical reasons, it currently has to be this way, and this information is currently considered non-private information as a result. We do have some plans to possibly address some of these things in the future, but I do not have a time frame for when we might get around to it.
I mean, the biggest thing is just integrating this knowledge into your model of how you build your Discord, right? So
Hmm.
if you do have particularly private membership information or particularly, you know, first of all, don't put anything sensitive in a channel topic ever because we know it's basically public. And second of all, don't rely on this security through obscurity of having a membership private DM, and don't use that.
I'm totally going to make a CTF challenge now where the key is the channel name or the topic.
Yes, for sure, dude. We should honestly, so if we're gonna go all out with this Discord webcast, we could make like a Discord CTF
CTF,
server.
you got to
Yeah.
compromise like a webhook and post something. And
Yes. You have to compromise a webhook and post something to even get the invite to the server is restricted somewhere, like
dude,
on a
we could make
private.
it such like we could go down the rabbit hole like pivoting too. Like it could be like first you got to get into the Discord, you got to find the link,
Right. You
right?
gotta
Then
you
once you're in, you got to use this API method to get the webhook URL. that's like
Right.
posted in a topic.
Yeah, hell yeah. That sounds awesome. I mean, obviously a lot of work, and we just gave up all of our coolest ideas publicly on the show. But
Well, nobody
hey,
listens to podcasts anyway. So
if you listen, you get a little heads up.
oh, hey! Right as I say that, Beeser says hello and chat. So, all right. Well, we're actually wrapping up. We got one more thing to talk about real quick. I thought this was really interesting. So one of the things that I think we're going to see a lot more of over the next few years is, the introduction of logging in with your wallet to do stuff, right? So using Web3 native tools. So one of the more interesting ones I've seen recently is Skiff, and so Skiff, it's an end-to-end encrypted email service, Web3 native, can create an account simply by signing a message with a wallet. So I thought that was kind of neat, right? Because you just basically log in with your wallet. You now have an email account. Your account is actually like your address at skiff.com. So like your ETH address or your ENS name, which makes me wonder. So this is something that might be kind of an interesting thing. I wonder if they're tying it to the address specifically or the ENS name at the end of the day, because like let's say that like your ENS name expired and I go register it, am I going to now be able to like read your email?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I mean, I would hope it's both, right? So hopefully it's your ENS name plus your wallet, but like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I bet it's wallet.
It's hopefully wallet, but man, I mean, now losing your wallet, you lose your email too, not just your money.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that's a good point. Well, maybe you make a separate one, right? That's just your email, right? And you don't use your.
I'm gonna set my email address to the Tornado wallet address, so I'll get all kinds of stuff.
So I was showing this to Steve, and his first thought was like, oh sweet, we got a new burner email service for phishing. Because all you don't have to have a name, address, phone number, anything, right? Like a lot of the services these days require at least one of those. With this, you just create a brand new wallet, log in. Which actually, this is not the first one of these. There's another site that I'll paste in to our chat. Called Inbox, which is actually created by the creators of the NFT trading card game called Parallel, which I'm actually a big fan of because I've always been a big Magic the Gathering fan, and now there's basically Magic the Gathering on the blockchain. So, so Inbox is basically the exact same thing. You log in with a wallet, and you can send messages by simply signing a transaction.
So now I can send an email for the low price of 50 ETH gas.
Well, no, so you don't have to actually send a full transaction. You just sign a message.
Right.
So, anyways, just thought that was kind of neat. Throw it in there at the end.
I mean, there are a lot of pseudonymous mail sites, but it'll be interesting. I mean, this one is hard to take down, right? It's hard to Proton Mail, give us your keys, or LavaBit, give us your keys.
Well, and the other thing too is they have the ability to store messages on IPFS too. So, they're not going anywhere. It's encrypted with your public key.
Yeah.
Of your wallet. So, kind of interesting, But
it's the same crypto stuff a lot of the emails use, right? End to end.
Yeah.
But decentralized.
Right. Yeah. So, anyways, that is the last thing I had for today. It's been fun hanging out, guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out, and I know had a little bit of a skeleton crew, but we got through it.
we had a lot of stories, so I'm glad we did the show.
For sure.
Watch your back on Discord is the today's theme.
The theme, yeah, exactly.
Man.
And look for that webcast. We'll put it together. We'll do 1 hour webcast on that for sure.
Easy.
And follow us on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, and we'll catch you next week, guys. It's been fun. Thanks for watching the show. See you guys later.
Bye.
Boop, boop.